lovelies, my name is Lecka, and this is Austin, and today we're going to be going over the top 10 things that you missed when you started playing Yugioh Master Duel, because you probably opened it and hit Duel if you went straight into ranked, or you started doing the solo gates and then missed everything else. So that's what we're here to help you with. So one of the first things that you're probably going to want to do when you have gotten into the game and you've already started going into the dueled ranks or the solo gates is you're gonna say, I'm really tired of that basic bitch profile where I'm an Ash Ketchum trainer red and have absolutely no face whatsoever. And to do that, when you are on the main hub page here, if you go up to the top left, there will be a plethora of different things that you can do to customize your trainer card. So you're going to want to hit edit on the bottom left, and this is where you can change your username if you just clicked a random one because you wanted to get straight into dueling. Your icon will be able to change away from that one into something else if you've unlocked others from going through the solo gates, which is a lot of resources for you to do. I highly recommend going through the solo gates if you want to get a lot of different resources to look really cool for when you do go into ranked for dueling. Icon frames, which we don't have more than the default one right now. The titles, which you can have up to 4 of, that you also unlock more as you play more, and you can have show up on your card as well. Your mate, which is essentially the little buddy that you have cheering you on the left-hand side of the duels that it is that you end up doing, whether in solo gates or in the ranked matches. And you can choose between the different ones that you have here, like Sandgan, Ritual Raven, and Rescue Rabbit. And of course, your monster art as well, which is essentially your little banner that you have above on the very top of your icon. We have the blue eyes, and we were actually able to unlock the Eldritch Dragon, but because I like the way that the blue eyes alternative art looks more with the profile I have going on with my character here, I'm going to keep that one. And the bunny down here shows you the rank that your character is at for the duel as well. We're changing the resolution of the game as well because it's going to start you off in this really awkward 1600 by 900 window. If you go to the sub-menu in the top right of the screen and you go to game settings, you'll be able to go into your general here and turn down the music because it's going to be really, really cool and majestic and epic, but also way too loud. And you can turn down the sound effects as well. You're going to want the quality to be whatever your computer can handle. If you can handle higher resolutions, great. If you have a lower PC or laptop, then obviously you're going to want to change this to be the recommended or just normal options. And for the resolution, to get rid of that, make it 1920 by 1080 and put the view mode into full screen instead of windowed. When you're playing with your decks as well, whether you're in solo gates or the dueled rank, for example, over here on the solo gates areas, there's a few different things that you may have missed when you were going through these trying to collect the different rewards. For example, if you go into any of the different ones that you were choosing to battle through, you can actually change the text of the card size to make it easier to read. So if you have a hard time reading things or you have a very small screen, it's a really nice way to be able to change that. If you click on the settings cogwheel in the top left once you are in the game, you can go down to the very bottom and you will be able to select large, medium, or small. I like to have it on large personally so that it's easier for me to read. And you can do the same thing for different activations for dueling as well. So if you don't like the chains that are happening, for the different auto things that can go on, which you can also, by the way, turn off down here in the corner. You can turn auto to be off so it won't prompt you to do anything. You can do it all manually. You can turn it so it's always on, or you can just have it so that it tells you the important things that are going on. I prefer to have it on auto, but of course, to each their own. You can go in here and you can customize absolutely everything for the different way that it shows animations, give suggestions, and whatnot to make your preference whatever it is that you want specifically as a duelist. If you're wanting to rename and customize the decks once you've started to get packs and unlock them, you need to go to your decks and click on ones. Obviously, if you're going to make one from scratch, you can click on the plus sign and make a new one, etc. Or if you had the starting deck and you wanted to customize it and rename it, for example, I had already gone through and done a lot of that for the beginning one since it was one that it was forcing me to use for a lot of the solo gate shenanigans at the very beginning. If you go to edit deck, then you can go up here to the very top where the cards are all listed down below it. You can hit the pencil and then you can type in whatever it is that you want to change it to for your deck name. If you're wanting to customize the accessories and outsides of the desk, then obviously you're going to want to do the accessory part, which is going to be where you're able to change the exterior of everything. You're going to be able to change your card box here to the different things that you have unlocked, the card protection that you have if you have any of them, your dueling field, your field part where your banish and your graveyard zones are, the map's base where instead of having the forest, for example, you can unlock the volcanoes, all of these of which you can buy in the store along with all of the rest of your items as well. In the shop itself, it's very self-explanatory for the things on the main pages, but if you're wanting to buy structure decks, then it's a very good idea if you have the gems, which you definitely will, just going through, because they just are throwing gems at you right now at the very beginning of the game, so take advantage of that before they change it. You can get up to 3 of any of these structured ones. So buy those with the gems that you get for free just by playing this game, which is free, and get the Magicians of Pendulums and the Recontract because they have ultra rares in them that you want to be able to get the maximums of. Even if you don't like pendulum style games or you don't like the way that these run, having those available to break down for resources for ultra rare cards that you do want the materials for to be able to craft cards later on is going to be very important, since the ultra rare materials are the hardest materials to craft in the entire game. So take advantage of these while they are here and able to be utilized. Additionally, the accessories portion is going to be where you're able to find the mates, the dual fields, the protectors, and the different icons that you can go ahead and buy for yourselves depending on what it is you want. And the special, of course, is going to be where you're going to want to buy the Duel Pass, which you can get for 600 gems, which is wonderful to be able to get a whole slew of things that are going to more than pay for itself for having gotten the pass to begin with. Buying this for 600 gems, if you complete it, you get 600 gems back, plus 100 ultra rare materials, and a different banner icon, and you can end up getting a Pot of Greed made as well, which is really, really nice. And also, pro tip for you guys as well, make sure that when you are getting packs, in case you were missing it because you were just going fast trying to get certain cards that you really, really wanted, always, always, always go for the 10 packs, because there is at least one super rare guaranteed when you get the 10s that you are not able to have as a guarantee when you get the singular. So it's worth it to just go through the solo gates, grind everything, play through the dueled ranks, get higher up on the ranking ladder so that you can get the 10 packs at once, so that you can have better chances for the resources you're going to be spending anyway to get higher guaranteed cards. As you're progressing through the game as well, there are going to be things besides just the gems you get that you can spend in the shops for missions that you're going to want to collect, because as you go through the limited time missions, in the very bottom right hand side, you'll be able to hit claim all rewards at once, which is very handy. As you go through, you're going to be unlocking a lot at once. Same with the unlimited missions that are there just as you progress through the game in general. Regardless of there being timed events, you can hit the same button too and just continue to collect and farm a bunch of rewards. And that is found, again, at the very top where the missions are. The next thing, in addition to that you're going to want to find are the friends, because if you have other people who are very into Yu-Gi-Oh, you're going to want to add them. To be able to add players and find your friend codes, you go up to the top where you would add the friends and you would look up their ID, or you would look up the different titles that they've claimed themselves with, which, if you go back to the beginning of the video, you were able to customize on your profile based on your different interests. If you want to see the trainer ID codes, you click on your profile in the top left, and it'll say your ID right underneath your username. For example, mine is 318463760. If any of you want to add me as friends here on Duel Links, feel free to do so. Oh, this isn't Duel Links, this is Master Duel. Different. But if you guys want to add me on Master Duel, you can, and I'll accept everybody's friend requests that come on through. I don't know that there is a limit. If there ends up being a limit, then we'll figure that out as it comes, but feel free to add me. I love playing with you guys, and I'm a streamer, so I'm streaming all of this as well. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch too, it's the same as it is here. It's Leckakay, and feel free to come on through and we can talk and go through duel rings, because I'm going to be going through ranked, getting up to plat with everybody in the game as well.
We'll be hopping into the deck editor over here in order to generate cards. So we'll just hop into one of the people who want to have Dragon Beans over here. So you can generate cards in a number of ways. You can click on a card you have existing. Down here in the bottom it says generate, and usually it's relative to the rarity of the card. So if you look at this top left part of the screen, you have normal CP, you have rare, you have I believe this is super rare, and then this is ultra rare. Very similar. If you play the Duel Links, they have their Duel Links game. Their ratings are the same. It's very the same order. So if you want to generate a card you already have, you just have to click on it and click generate. However, if there's a card you know of and you want to generate it, obviously it doesn't exist in this menu because you don't own the card. What you want to do is you want to find a card that is related to it, so it could have a similar naming, like if you're looking for a World Chalice card, or it can have a similar typing depending. But each of these cards, if you click on it, like say we'll go to the CW one here, you will go to related cards. And then here it shows all cards in the game that the algorithm deems as related. So in this case, it shows a couple of other ZW cards, a ZS card. So it also shows cards you don't have. So those cards, you click on them and you can generate them using your points. In this case, it's a super rare card, so it would only take 30 to generate. So, and you can get these points by doing missions. I'm sure you can also get them as ranked as well, but we generated most of ours by doing the solo part, which is a great way to get introduced into the game. We got quite a few gems out of it, got quite a few materials, and you'll also get them from your missions that you do. daily and unlimited, and also limited time missions as well. So if you really want to get cards in general, this is a great way to do it. As well, if you click on a card that you have, you can also dismantle it in order to get more materials depending on the card. So with that, you'll be able to generate even more points and use those to get specific cards that you want, which is why it's very important that like you don't necessarily just disregard a card is not important, because the more you collect, the more you can break down. Now, I think dismantling is conditionary, so it just depends on the card. Like I believe some of these, because they came with the starter, you can't dismantle them. But we will definitely, over time, give out accurate information how to do. But overall, it's more just about having the points for that card equal to its rarity, and then you just generate it. Like, for instance, there's one card I know that we wanted to get, so I will go back, and I will go ahead and show you guys how to generate that card. So we are looking on putting together some Monarch cards, so we'll do the same thing. Go ahead and obtain. Oh, right, incorrect. We will go to related cards, so I will click on this one, related cards. So now it's showing me other cards related to this Monarch card. So like these ones that can search the spells. So this one in particular, which is very rare, it's of the regular rarity. So we're just going to go ahead and generate. And it asks us how many we want to generate. On most decks, like depending, you might want 1, you might want 3. In this case, we want 3. It's a very highly coveted card. So we will generate. Little cards were generated, and we got 2 basic non-foil, and I believe there's a certain like chance of it getting you a glossy or higher finish. So we also got a glossy one. So now we have 3 copies of that card for our future Monarch deck. That pretty much just breaks down how you would go about generating cards. And it looks like cards that you generate can also be dismantled for about roughly a third or a half based on their basically on their quality, on their finish. This glossy one can be dismantled for 15 here, while this one that's just regular can be dismantled for 10. So it looks like the ones you get from packs may not be dismantleable. So I think ideally what you'll do is you'll just keep constructing cards, and over time you'll be able to break them back down when you don't need them or you don't.
And those are the top things that you most likely missed when you were starting to play Master Duelist here with Yu-Gi-Oh! That you just sped on through because you were trying to get into the content, much like us, before we started deep delving into the rest of the things that Master Duels has to offer. If you guys found this video useful, then make sure that you like it and comment down below. Let us know different things that you also want to see for videos as well, and also subscribe to the channel because subscriptions are free here on YouTube, and we're going to be putting out a lot more Master Duels videos as well for how-tos, and you're not going to want to miss those if you enjoyed the kind of tutorials that we did for this one too. But for now, take care of yourselves, have fun in Duelist, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye, my lilies!